Evan's Journey to Life. The Secret Energy Consuming Machine Revealed. Day 19. How the Fruit of Life Became Rotten. Part 2. As I mentioned in the previous post, in this post, we're continuing with How the Fruit of Life Became Rotten. Part 2, where we'll be walking the specifics of how we, from the beginning of our existence, had manifested ourselves into and as reward-based beings within ourselves, where we manifest our reward as ourselves, within ourselves, through the accumulation of positive energy that accumulate from and of the origin, source, core point of ourselves as negative energy, from and through the friction as manifested separation, conflict. We deliberately create, manifest, tune towards ourselves as others, other parts of ourselves. Who we are within manifests in our creation of and as who we are without. From here to where we are today, becoming children that reward themselves with positive energy experience through manipulation and conflict as friction in their world, reality, in relation to their parents, and where parents themselves manipulate their children in conflict and friction situations through the reward-based system to get and have a positive experience, energetic reaction from their children, to only fulfill themselves as parents with positive energy experience. This positive energy experience defined and labeled as love, happiness, fulfillment, satisfaction, all the variations of positive energy experience, when the truth of where this positive experience energies that children and parents experience within themselves come from is in fact friction and conflict as a negative energy experience. And within this, we've created and manifested the world system of money within our image and likeness within the context of the reward-based system, getting and having positive energy experience from within ourselves and others as consumerism, where for individuals within the world system of money to experience the positive energy experience within themselves, they consume in varying degrees equal to and one with how positive energy experience has variations within individuals, the world system of money has variations of positive energy experience. But as with individuals that get this positive energy experience within themselves through conflict and friction, as the negative energy experience, consuming physicality and substance within themselves as transforming substance into energy, as the moment of friction and conflict as negative energy, the world system of money consume physicality substance to transform it into money as the positive energy experience of and as more money for and as itself. And furthermore, within that manifesting that positive energy experience of and as money itself into variations of manifestations of money, where from the world system of money, individuals again within this world system consume for themselves all the variations of positive energy manifestations of and as money to get positive experience energy within themselves. But for individuals in the world system of money to get and have that positive experience energy through consumption, they essentially consume the lives of other human beings, Earth, this physical existence for them to have and get. And so you see the origin source of positive energy experience within this world reality from within ourselves, from others, from the world system of money and the world system of money itself, always originate from friction and conflict as the negative, as the very consumption of physicality substance and the lives of parts of ourselves within and as this existence. In this blog, we're walking the dimensions of our origins of and as who we are within ourselves, how who we are as created our relationship to others, all of existence, and in these relationships created and manifested the world system of money. In this, we're walking a particular line of having a look at how we've become this reward-based system of positive energy experience within ourselves as who we are. How from who we are, we've created and manifested the reward-based system manifested as the world system of money. To see, realize, and understand the consequences of positive energy experience within ourselves and others, and this physical existence as a whole. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to, from my beingness, of and as who I am, in and as my singularity separation from and of the whole, manifest my very beingness within the nature of and as a self-rewarding, rewards-based system, where I reward myself with as positive energy experience as the more of and as me within myself. But for me to have this more of and as me within myself as positive energy experience, I have to maintain my conflict and friction relationship to and towards all as me within and as existence as manifested negative energy experience. That I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to from the negative energy experience as friction and conflict that accumulated into and as my neutral energy experience of and as only me within and as my singularity, that I didn't see, realize, and understand that in that neutral experience of and as only me, I was not experiencing me, that I had simply become aware of the resonance of and as a negative energy experience that manifested within my singularity. But because I was separated into and as my manifested singularity, I perceived the awareness of and as the resonance accumulation of and as the negative experience, energy experience, as me experiencing only me becoming aware of me, within and as my singularity. And I had within that accepted and allowed myself to become preoccupied with the neutral energy experience of and as only me, as in singularity, and within that preoccupation as self-separation into and as the neutral experience of and as only me, I had become completely unaware of the starting point of and as me as a negative energy experience of and as a friction and conflict I was constantly and continuously creating within and as my separation into and as a singularity from the whole. And the more I became preoccupied within and as the neutral experience of and as only me, unaware of the negative energy experience of and as the friction and conflict I was generating manifesting within and as my separation from and of the whole, the energies accumulated within me, and I started experiencing the more of and as me within myself as the singularity manifested as the positive energy experience. The more I experienced the more of and as me as the positive energy experience within and as my singularity, the more my awareness shifted into and as the positive energy experience of and as me, and my neutral experience of and as only me was no more enough satisfactory, as the positive energy experience of and as more of and as me was better. And so, from here, the existence of me as my beingness manifested within the context nature of me within my singularity awareness, always only wanting to experience more of and as me within and as the positive energy experience, with my neutral energy experience of and as only me not being satisfactory, good enough. In this and from here, I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to become an energy consuming being within and as my manifested singularity from the whole, that transforms substance from and through the constant continuous conflict friction as negative energy experience into and as energy for me to accumulate as consume within myself my beingness manifested as the singularity. In this, I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to create and manifest my human physical body as manifested singularity in manifested separation from and of the whole as is physical existence, and equal to and one with how I have within my manifested singularity in the being, created myself within myself as energy. I have equally as one manifested the mind consciousness system as energy within and as my human physical body, as the creation of myself within myself, where my mind consciousness system had become the automated energy consuming system that I had accepted and allowed myself to be and become and create and manifest as me within and as my manifested singularity in the beginning, that had become my manifested singularity now as the human physical body, where equally as one, as I have in the beginning moved and manifested myself into and as layers of separation and awareness, unaware of the initial negative energy experience, becoming aware of the neutral energy experience, and then shifting awareness to the positive energy experience that had become the layers of and as separation and awareness of and as my mind consciousness system as the conscious mind, the positive energy experience manifestation, the subconscious mind, the neutral energy experience manifestation, the unconscious mind, the negative energy experience manifestation with the most direct relationship to and as and with my human physical body, which consume, transform substance, the physical, into and as energy that accumulated the subconscious mind and unconscious mind. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself within my dimensional, interdimensional existence become a mind system manifest that enter into and as is physical existence within the process of reincarnation within as a mind system, where I will walk in this physical existence in a human physical body as a manifested singularity from and of the whole as this physical existence and live out my beingness in nature that I had accepted and allowed myself to be and become as the mind system, as my layers, levels of self awareness, in and as my singularity, as me, where I would become an individual that through and as the mind system consume energy from within myself as my own physical, from the unconscious negative energy experience as conflict and friction, as transforming physicality into energy, to my subconscious mind, accumulating a neutral energy experience of and as designing programming only me, and finally to my conscious mind as the accumulation of and as my neutral energy experience into and as my positive energy experience, where from within and as the conscious mind, I use my conscious mind, references, and experiences as a reference for the extent of my energy levels within my subconscious and unconscious mind to ensure that my energy experience within and as my conscious mind always exist positive energy experience. In this, I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to come into this world as child, as a mind system, as energy consumption machine that will utilize the tactics of and as manipulation as man, I, pull, elevation, the I as me, pulling man, as human beings within my world reality, to and towards my whim, beck and call, to elevate me within myself into and as the accumulation of and as energy positive energy experiences, where through and in this pulling, as bending others to my whim, beck, and create and manifest the necessary conflict and friction for me to get from them that which I want, need, and desire to fulfill my positive energy experience within myself to my satisfaction and saturation. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand how, in being birthed into this world as a mind system, as energy consuming system, to satisfy my positive energy experience of me within and as my manifested singularity and human physical body, I, within and as my accepted and allowed manifested separation into and as a singularity from and of the whole, and into and as a human physical body from and of this physical existence as a whole had no means of communication to and towards other parts of and as me in and as equality and oneness. And because my origin and starting point of and as me coming from and standing within the point and moment of and as conflict and friction as negative energy experience, all my communication to and towards and with parts of me within and as this existence and this physical existence from my manifested singularity and human physical body would stand and be within the nature and starting point of and as conflict and friction. In this, I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand how my moment of separation into and as a manifested singularity from and of the whole, as the moment of friction and conflict, was my first moment of communication of me as a singularity to and towards the whole, as me, as existence, as the communication stance of who I am, as manifested separation from and of the whole, and that from that moment, all of my communication to and towards all as me from within and as my manifested separation as singularity will stand and be expressed within and as this starting point communication as friction and conflict as negative energy experience. In this, I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand the manifested consequence of and as me manifesting myself into and as a singularity from and of the whole, that had become me as a physical body, from and of the whole as this physical existence, limiting my communication to and towards others, all as me, within and as the starting point nature of and as conflict and friction to manifest the negative energy experience, to accumulate the neutral energy experience, towards the awareness of me as positive energy experience, where in this I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to be and become a child birthed into this world with no means of communication to communicate me as the energy manifestation of and as the mind system to fulfill me with and as positive energy experience as satisfaction of me within myself and my human physical body, but through creating, manifesting, instilling friction and conflict in my world reality through crying, screaming, yelling, contorting my physical human body to instill, create, and manifest friction and conflict as negative energy experience within and as others, parents, as me, for them to want to accumulate their positive energy experience within themselves through satisfying my positive energy experience within myself. And when I am satisfied and fulfilled, they are in turn again satisfied and fulfilled. And so, from childhood, the dynamic of the relationships between child and parent is creating, manifesting, instilling deliberately conflict and friction as negative energy experience to get and have the positive energy experience. All this, the manifested consequence of me separating myself into an as manifested singularity from the whole in the beginning, where I within that accepted and allowed myself to limit my ability to communication with and as others as me, to only be able to communicate through and with negative energy experience as conflict and friction that becomes the initial relationship between child and parent, and from there imprinted into an as me throughout my life in and as physical existence. We'll continue walking the rewards-based system as accumulation of and as positive energy experience from and through negative energy experience as starting point within the post to continue, and the consequences of this from the beginning to us now as human beings, to our relationships and the creation of this physical existence and world system. I commit myself to, through writing, self-forgiveness, and self-corrective application, assist and support myself to no more only stand within and as an awareness of and as myself only, as I see, realize, and understand that awareness had become the awareness of the me as energy, as the manifested separate awareness of and as me from and of the whole existence as me. This commitment I walk through assisting and supporting myself in walking my mind consciousness system, separated levels of awareness as manifested energy of me within the nature of positivity, neutrality, and negativity, as the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious mind, and walk myself out of my mind into and as my equality and oneness with my human physical body, so that in this process I align my self-awareness to stand and be equal to and one with all as me within and as existence, so that my self-awareness is no more separated into energy levels, but stand as the awareness of and as me, in fact being equal to and one with all as me. And in this awareness of and as equality and oneness, with and as all as me, I will no more accept and allow myself to abuse all as me, as I will always, in all ways, directly see the consequence of me, my actions, to and towards all as me. I commit myself to transform and change my self-awareness of energy as mind to living awareness of and as equality and oneness of and as all as me, because I see, realize, and understand that this self-awareness of and as energy as mind, as only my awareness of the experience of my energy of and as me, had divided me into layers of self-awareness of negative, neutral, and positive energy experience, where in this separation awareness, I am not in fact aware of and as all as me within and as equality and oneness, and not do and cannot see directly how for me to exist in such layers of awareness as energy experience, I use and abuse others, me, within this existence and physical existence. In this, I commit myself to transforming and changing this world system of money as me, to no more exist within its relationship to and towards all within this physical existence, in its own awareness of accumulating money for only itself as the cost and expense of others' physical lives, futures within this physical existence and earth, and to transform, change the world system of money into an as a system within the awareness of and as equality and oneness, in regarding considering all lives in and as equality and oneness, that so ensure that each birth into this physical existence have a dignified life from birth to death. I commit myself to, in my process of walking through the mind, as stopping my accepted and allowed self-separation and separation from and of all as me, I walk my process of writing self-forgiveness and self-corrective application as the starting point of the transforming and changing my starting point of and as communication, where I had always throughout my existence within myself and towards all as me, communicated within the nature and starting point of self-interest as conflict and friction as negative energy experience to accumulate the neutral energy experience for me to experience and get and have the more of an as me as positive energy experience. And so the nature of my relationship with myself in my self communication and communication with others as me had been through friction and conflict to generate energy. And therefore, I commit myself to the process of writing, self forgiveness, and self corrective application as the process of establishing an equal and one communication with myself, within myself, as I assist and support me from separation as mind to physical living as equality and oneness, where, as I establish myself communication in and as equality and oneness with me, I, from this starting point as me, will be able to, in fact, establish equal and one communication with others as me, in realizing, seeing, understanding how they are, in fact, parts of me within and as existence. And with establishing this communication of equality and oneness through writing, self forgiveness, and self corrective application, I stop my means of communication through conflict and friction, and so stop deliberate conflict and friction creations in my relationships to myself and others that I deliberately used only to accumulate positive energy experience. And so my communication with transform, where I will speak and share, express within the starting point of what is will be best for all, and actually become a directive, principled, living being in my world instead of an energy consuming machine, using and abusing others in relationships for my own self interest.